Hi, welcome back. For me, it's been about 3 minutes. You guys have probably got a good night's rest since the last time you've seen me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about value. Now, we don't sell investments, but the fact is that guitars for the past 40 years have gone up 10 or 12% a year in value. And where did I get that number from? Vintage Guitar Magazine prints off a price guide. In there, they keep track of 40 different guitars, the same 40 guitars, for the last 40 years. And of those guitars, they have some Gretsches, some Juniors, some Telecasters, some acoustics, and they put that all in an index fund. And so they keep that indexing the guitars and their values, and they keep track of those randomly. And they claim it's 13.5% per year on average. So yes, people are buying guitars for the investment value. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to show you this, our new 1960 Les Paul Jr., and then this, which is a clean 59 special. I don't need to highlight the differences to our astute audiences watching this video. I'll let you guys figure that out, but let's look at condition. First, this guitar compared to this guitar is quite faded. So this guitar also, now this guitar was better cared for. You can see a lot of scratches on this. These guitars are notoriously bad but rock machines. So these get a lot of utility usage. You can run, you guys have probably heard Mississippi Queen, the song, which is the classic Les Paul Jr. sound, or any of the last 4 or 5 Rolling Stones records, or if you've seen the Rolling Stones in the last 4 or 5 tours, Keith Richards uses these. They then are higher valued than its brother, the SG. The other thing is condition. And you can see this guitar is still its vibrant cherry red. It has no scratches on the back. This has lots of scratches on the back. So valuing two of the same guitars together is going to go on condition. A lot of guitars are worn out, or the finish gets worn away from playing. Guitars that have seen light duty are not worn out on the back. So this guitar, next to another guitar that would be faded like this, would be discounted in value. And then the color of it, any sun fade, will discount a guitar. A lot of factors have to go into how you value a guitar. How they sound, how light they are, what kind of condition the frets are in. There's a lot of things that will value, but you might see two guitars together. This is unbroken, completely original. Cool. That makes it a good investment. One that was cleaner would be perhaps a better investment in the long term. But really, really clean ones are generally put aside and saved, and those are the true collectors that put aside rare examples of anything, whether they be comic books, coins, stamps. If you have a coin that has never been touched, a watch that has never been used, it will go up in value. To us guitar players, that seems, but let's compare this 1960 one pickup Gibson Les Paul to this 1960 one pickup Fender. This particular model is really, these Esquires are a much more valuable guitar. This guitar will be twice what this guitar is. This guitar in and around $10,000, and this guitar in and around $25,000, probably closer to $30,000. Both of these guitars have doubled in value in the last 10 years. Both of these guitars have a similar utility value. Because these are a little more utility valued, a maple neck against a mahogany neck, a bolted on neck next to a glued in neck, you could argue that this is a finer art. This is rarer wood. This is wood that is not from America. This is all American wood except the Brazilian board. You could argue that this is a better guitar. I would concede that argument. This is probably more utility. So you ask, how high can this one pickup Gibson Les Paul at $10,000 go? Well, here's an example of another model that goes for $25,000. And where could this go? The model above this is now $35,000 with the second pickup. So the vintage guitar market can be a little confusing from the standpoint of investment grade guitars. And let me warn you, investing in guitars has its risks. If you remember, in 2013, the federal government was closed down. For a year and a half, you couldn't give a vintage guitar away because everybody was panicked. In 2007, we had an international market crash. Those type of things bring everything down. Your house, your stock portfolio. But in general, these tend to go up about 10% a year. We are not selling investments. We are not guaranteeing a rise in value. Every investment has its own risks, but it is worth pointing out that the value of American-made guitars is a finite supply. They made probably, I'm going to guess, 600 of these budget models in the day, maybe twice that, and in a particular year. And so there is a finite supply. A lot of these are broken, routed, headstock broken off. Finding clean original ones of these is kind of difficult. Even in this day and age, finding clean examples of these is even more difficult, and the market is pushed by demand, and so people want what they can't have. So again, I'm going to just point out some things that are interesting to people that are looking to invest. If you're going to invest, the nice thing about guitars is it's fun. Plain and simple, it's fun. You also want to look at condition. If you have a guitar that's refinished, you're going to lower that value by 30 to 50%, depending on how good the finish is. An older finish will get more than a brand new painted yesterday finish. That's just how it is. And high demand guitars are valued a little different than low demand guitars. These are both high demand guitars. And then again, you can see how dark this guitar is and how faded this one is, and that has value. Not much buckle wear, quite a bit of buckle wear. This one is really straight, clean, and original, and it will go for more than one that is in this condition. That all makes sense? It does to me too. So anyway, that's it for my video, briefly touching on value. Because of the last 3 years, the accelerated value, we're starting to see things level off a little bit, but I was just at a vintage guitar show where people were buying guitars almost in a panic. And I do believe that with its limited, finite, not infinite supply of old guitars, that this will continue. In these days, the 50s, the 60s, even the 70s guitars seem to be rising in value quite a bit and seem to be a good, safe place, fun place to park your money while you put on a guitar strap, look in the mirror, and go, "Gee, Mom, don't I look cool?" See you next time.